This is genuinely insane, as we just had a shocking report drop from Shams Charania that frankly makes me question the hands the Golden State Warriors are in out there in the front office. As of course, the team was big star hunting, trying to make a home run swing to build a championship contender around Steph Curry in his twilight years, which no one blames them for, of course. But what this report reveals is this team almost completely threw away the franchise. Frankly, Kevin Durant not wanting to come to Golden State allowed this front office, this franchise, this team to dodge an absolute bullet. And of course, the team ended up going through with acquiring Jimmy Butler, and there were some critics of that trade amongst the fan base, but we can leave that for another day. But this deal that almost went through, this leaked package that has now come out in recent reports, has me very, very concerned about where the front office's heads are at if that deal ended up going down, and more importantly, especially with all the turmoil and other reports that have dropped coming out of the Phoenix Suns, we might be going through this again come the off season, and we better not make the same mistake twice. So we're going to dive into what this report is saying, what the leaked package was for Kevin Durant, and how we were very, very close to throwing away the future for this Golden State Warriors team. So lots of stuff to break down, but folks, we appreciate all the uptick of viewers. We appreciate every single one of you that joined along for the ride out here for an absolutely insane trade season. But if you're new and you haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, you're a part of the 68% of our viewers that haven't hit that sub button. Make sure you guys hit that sub button so you don't miss a single thing that's going on with the Golden State Warriors. But let's dive into this madness, dive into this absurdity, because frankly, I'm fired up about this. But basically, news came out from Shams Charania that the Warriors made several aggressive offers for Kevin Durant, including one framework and a 3-team trade that would have sent Jimmy Butler and Jonathan Kuminga and first-round picks and second-round picks, as well as swaps to the Phoenix Suns. So this is why this is insane. So let's give a context to this, because you might look at that and be like, okay, Jonathan Kuminga is a guy that is definitely good at basketball. Like he is very, very good, like effective out here for the Golden State Warriors for many years, many games, all those types of things. I don't have his picture brought up, but basically a lot of people are fans of Jonathan Kuminga, but he's no Kevin Durant, of course, and Jimmy Butler's coming from the Heat. But the realistic thing about this is the Golden State Warriors were going to have to give up the package that they gave up for Jimmy Butler, because that's the deal that ended up going down. That's what took Jimmy Butler off of the Miami Heat in the first place. So they'd have to give up all of the assets, Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Anderson, the first, all of the things that were given up. And then on top of it, Jonathan Kuminga, multiple firsts, multiple swaps, and multiple second-round picks. Just for Kevin Durant. And this is not me bashing on KD. This is not me saying he's washed, he's garbage. He's averaging 27 points per game, 6.1 rebounds, 4.2 assists, and shooting 40% from the three-point line. This man is a beast. But this man is 36. He has an injury history, and he is currently not able to take a team that has Devin Booker, that has Bradley Beal, for as bad as his contract is still good at basketball. He can't take that team out there and be a decent playoff team out there in the Western Conference. He can't do that at this point of his career. Prime KD, for sure, he'd be able to take that team, make a run out there in the West, all that type of stuff. He is not that guy anymore, and we almost gave up Wiggins, Kuminga, multiple firsts, multiple seconds, multiple swaps, all of those types of things for Kevin Durant, who is like 36 years old. By next season, he's 37. For a guy with injury history, that is just stupid. That is dumb. That is stupid. That is crazy. And to make matters worse, because we dodged that bullet. That bullet was, and I don't want to come off as disrespectful to KD by any stretch of the imagination, but that is a horrific move if the Golden State Warriors ended up going through with it. But to make matters worse, the Warriors have to be concerned about this again in the offseason. Of course, Kevin Durant has, been adamant about not wanting to come to Golden State and all that type of stuff. And yes, that's whatever, right? But there are a lot of reports coming out about this entire situation. So Kevin Durant was open to join the Heat instead of the Warriors, but basically news came out from Brian Windhorst that he was not happy he was put into trade talks, and I think it's unpredictable that what will happen for the next few months, because it's the nature of the sport. But I think right now it's reasonable to forecast that Durant will be breaking up with the Suns in the summer. So that's coming from Brian Windhorst here now at this point. That means that a trade is likely coming this summer, and the Golden State Warriors, even though KD doesn't want to be there, maybe the Suns, he doesn't have a no trade clause. And things are just getting really messy there with the Suns here now at this point because, again, recent articles, recent reports, NBA Insider reveals a toxic locker room amongst the Phoenix Suns during all these trade talks, all these trade discussions. So the Golden State Warriors might be in the same situation Cub again this offseason. Now, Jimmy Butler's on the squad, so it's harder to make one of these trade packages for Jimmy Butler and stuff out there on the team. So it's a tougher framework to make happen. But of course, you could aggregate Draymond Green's contract. You could aggregate a bunch of different deals in order to make that happen. A little sign and trade with Jonathan Kuminga. We've seen GMs that are motivated to do something, they can figure it out. And with the package that was just offered, that was just put on the table, for Kevin Durant, I could see Mike Dunleavy doing something stupid, man. I could see something crazy end up coming out here in the offseason, and it is by the year worse and worse and worse for a deal like that to actually happen. Now, I know some people, again, might be like, oh, Jonathan Kuminga, he's a negative asset because of the contract he's about to get. I want to put all those things to rest because Jonathan Kuminga's averaged 17 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2.2 assists, shoot 35% of the field. He's 22 years old. We've seen flashes of stardom in Jonathan Kuminga. We've seen this guy look like a dude that is going to be a bona fide all-star, a future all-star at certain points. Of course, it's a roller coaster. It's up and down, and he is an impending free agent, so I know this is his contract here up on the screen. I know there's a bunch of people that were like, hey, Jonathan Kuminga, this is what it is, picks. We have this championship window. It is right now. That would have been horrific. For the people that were critical of Jimmy Butler, this Jimmy Butler trade, because Jimmy, he said all the right things, man. He's averaging 17, 5, and 5. This season shoot 36% from the three-point line. There was a stretch where he was actually, shooting some more threes. He's 35 as well, so a year younger than Kevin Durant, has dealt with some injuries in his own right. But if we were making one of those big home run swings, the package that the Warriors had to give up for Jimmy Butler was 1,000 times more reasonable than what they would have given up for Kevin Durant. It's just kind of the reality looking at the package, especially the draft capital. Get all that draft capital out of the way. This Jimmy Butler deal, it's high risk, high reward, but the risk is much more mitigated than basically what this offer. I mean, Kuminga, multiple firsts, second round picks, and swaps to the Phoenix Suns. Like, what on earth are you doing? What on earth for a 36-year-old that doesn't really want to be here? I don't know. I don't want to come off as a slander fest for Kevin Durant. Of course, it would have been cool to see the reunite, and maybe the Warriors would have made a deep run. But Steph Curry is 1,000 times sorry. Devin Booker's a phenomenal basketball player, but Devin Booker's in the prime of his career. Steph Curry's on the tail end of his career. If a team built around KD and Devin Booker's like a low-tier play-in team out there in the Western Conference, are we sure Steph and KD and that sort of group, especially with all the deplete, like Kuminga gone, Wiggins gone, Schroeder gone, all these types of guys gone, are we sure that that's a team that's much better than that Phoenix Suns roster? Are we sure? I think it's better, but I don't think it's game-changingly better. So to mortgage the future on that, to bet the farm would just have been crazy, and we better not, when this thing falls apart, the Phoenix Suns out there in the summer, we better not touch it. We better not be a part of it. The Warriors better not be involved. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section down below. Genuinely insane stuff going on for Golden State. We'll see what happens, but hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.